As our population has grown, more and more areas across our planet are being explored. It turns out there are very few places that have been left alone. We've discovered and explored a large amount of our planet, and this has led to some interesting discoveries. Satellite imaging has helped locate all of the land on our planet, and has helped researchers peer deep into the oceans, and have a bird's eye view of various locations. However, it appears that despite all of our technology, the deep forests of the world prevent many of this exploration, and centers around impossible to explain encounters that no one is quite ready to answer. One of these interesting locations can be found in India. The Doe Hill Forest is plagued by a number of strange supernatural sightings and disappearances. Many locals and tourists alike have reported seeing children running through the forest at night, appearing to be deformed or startling in their appearance. These claims have only become more and more popular, as many skeptics flock to the site with the hopes of dismissing these stories, only to capture a tremendous amount of images and footage of school children running through the forest at night. Oddly enough, the Victoria Boys' School, located in that region and established in the 1800s, is rumoured to be the hotspot of paranormal activity from the forest. There are no longer faculty members that will work late at the school throughout the night, and janitors and other employees that are forced to work through the nights tend to have a higher rate of turnover, and end up quitting the job pretty much as soon as they started. Some of these individuals have reported that during their shifts they will see shadows flickering across the wall, and that when they go in for a closer look they will vanish before their eyes. Another worker reported that while cleaning the floors they could hear noises coming from another part of the building. Knowing he was alone, he decided to investigate, thinking that perhaps some students had sneaked into the building. As the man approached the noises, he could tell they were those of children and described them as high-pitched laughs. He said that at the time he felt uneasy as there shouldn't have been any children in the building. As the noises got louder, he knew he was on the right path, and then suddenly he heard the distinctive sound of a ball bouncing on the ground. This sound was coming from behind him. As he turned around, he couldn't see anything as the halls were covered in dark shadows. After staring into the darkness for what seemed like several minutes, a ball slowly started to roll out from the shadows until it eventually stopped at his feet. The worker described that he'd been frozen in place during this experience, and that he'd never had anything like this happen to him before. Further saying that when he heard stories about people freezing in place, he never believed it. After the ball arrived at his feet, he picked it up and slowly started to make its way towards the shadow. When getting there, however, he saw nothing, and so continued to the room he was cleaning. Just before he arrived though, he heard the sound of a little girl laughing from behind him. This was enough for the man, and he decided to leave during the middle of the night, with the story saying that he never returned to the school. Many students during the day also report footsteps echoing throughout the corridors, doors slamming behind them, and even sightings of ghostly encounters in locker rooms. One girl reported that in the bathroom she saw the ghostly apparition of a boy, and after making eye contact she ran out of the room screaming. One of the most famous reports from this region is that of the shadows of children. There's been several occasions where students have reportedly had run-ins with these mysterious beings. One student described seeing a new girl at school, and because they saw her alone they felt sorry for her, and so decided to go up and start a conversation. As she turned the corner, the boy then ran to try and catch up, but when he turned around the corner she was nowhere to be seen. Additionally, given the history the school has had when connected to old British expansion, some have theorised that perhaps a darker history took place in the region, giving birth to such paranormal occurrences, with some researchers saying it's strange how so many paranormal beings are reported. There are some that have suggested that something happened here and this is the reason why so many people report seeing the same thing. Some have described this as a residual haunting, and this is where an entity will carry out repetitive actions. For example, someone making banging noises or walking up and down stairs. The reason people say this could be what's going on here is because many have reported the same thing. Apart from the younger beings, Another famous entity that's reported here is that of the Shadow People. The Shadow People are said to appear and disappear before you, seemingly made entirely out of nothing but a shadowy substance. Interestingly, these shadowy figures are not limited to human form. According to witnesses, the Black Dogs of the British Isles are otherworldly apparitions that many believe to be hellhounds ready to attack anyone nearby. It's described as being larger than a normal dog and featuring a shadowy-like body with glowing red eyes. Many have claimed to have encountered the creatures shortly after a terrible storm, or in areas associated with death, such as that of old places of execution and ancient buildings. The Shadow People are described as being black masses, and they can often be seen around objects that are said to be haunted, or in places where something bad has happened. One of the first things people say they feel when they see them is fear, and that is as if they drain all of the energy out of the room and leave only darkness. Some have reported them as having glowing red eyes, while in other cases they're reported as having jet black eyes. Today the frightening hauntings of the forest have only grown in numbers, as locals have begun reporting hearing a number of screams, sounds of children crying or laughing, and a number of strange sights including large glowing red eyes, and trees swaying under the weight of tremendous unseen beasts. Throughout history there have been reports of paranormal entities. All cultures talk about the paranormal and afterlife in one form or another, and even to this day millions of people believe in the paranormal. From a scientific perspective, it's said that what people are seeing is nothing more than natural phenomena or our minds playing tricks on us. One of the issues is many of us haven't encountered anything paranormal, so it's hard to judge or give an opinion when we haven't witnessed it ourselves. Those who have said it's changed the way they view the world, and that they think we share this world with mysterious entities. Over the years, paranormal researchers have given names to certain entities. For example, the poltergeist is said to be a type of ghost that's able to cause harm to people, and even move objects with force. Another interesting forest that has many stories attached to it is that of the Devil's Tramping Ground. Out in North Carolina, locals of the area found an unexplainable region of the nearby forest that seems to deny all logic and reasoning. The area is referred to as the Devil's Tramping Ground, as it appears to be completely devoid of growth of any kind, similar to that scene of a large animal or beast stomping around in a circle without rest. The strange and mysterious 40-foot ring of compacted soil has been the talk of local legends since the discovery of the region. It's found right beside Silver City, located in North Carolina. The local residents claim that almost every night if someone visits this odd and mysterious location, you'll be able to see a dark spirit stomping on the ground in anger, and leading to the region's blackened and compacted state. The location is so strange that even the North Carolina State Department of Agriculture has spent years taking samples of the soil, but is yet to come up with an explanation for why the 40-foot radius is completely devoid of life. Experts originally believed that perhaps there was a more scientific approach to the whole situation, believing that maybe a lack of nutrients in the soil or a spawning grounds for insects could be the reason for the black and compacted state. Studies came back inconclusive to any of those results, and by the standards of the test held by the North Carolina State Department of Agriculture, the soil should be some of the most fertile soil in the region. Some people have camped out here, and have allegedly seen things they can't explain, but these encounters can't be backed up with proof. Today, experts are still uncertain as to what can be causing this flat and compacted soil, and many paranormal investigators have stayed out most nights to watch the region, but failed to spot anything supernatural or paranormal causing the Devil's Tramping Ground. This means that the entire region, both forested and trampled, appears to harbour a strange phenomenon that is overwhelmingly unexplained in the world of science. So what do you make of these mysterious locations? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, and help us by growing this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.